position to sit here. You guys can join. I don't really know what there is to talk about these days. I feel like it's somewhere between the greatest story ever told and the never-ending story. The greatest story ever told was based on what the Bible is, as an allegory for something. The never-ending story is, well, as we all know, it's something to do with life. It's just a dream within a dream or whatever. And what people have been, you don't really have too many people telling different stories these days, because what is there to talk about? What is there to really, it's like, oh, is this a dog coming? This is a dog. I'm so excited. Maybe I could play with a dog. I can play with ducks. I can play with dogs. Maybe the dog will come over here. Let us see. Let us find out. So, yeah. Some Tribe Called Quest, huh? Yeah, I don't really... It's this... How doesn't everybody... I mean, I see what's going on with the media and the governments and things. How don't people see it? How is everyone just fall in line with this nonsense? I mean, if I really had to sit down here and tell you how it works, sure, I could do that. I could tell you why it works, but maybe because it hasn't worked on so many people, and they've broke free of the spell casting and the mind manipulation and the governmental the chicanery and the religious nonsense and the scientific the way they confound things, the way everything's a business. I mean, haven't people just figured out that's the whole system? In a nutshell, it's really simple to see that if you recognize everything's a business, then you understand what religion is. Religion is not what you think it is. It's not trying to find yourself a higher purpose. It's a control mechanism, and it's a business. What do you think science is?
Oh, science is the greatest thing because I'm looking at the tangible.
No, it's a business. It's just another type of religion. It's called scientism. Don't get me wrong. There is something good to having faith or a type of religion or some sort of spirituality, and there's definitely plenty to be said about quality science. But those don't really exist. There's plenty of reason to have a very small government about some things, but the degree at which we see it's nothing more than run by people that they use calendars. Calendars are mapped out for, well, originally they tell you what time it was and energies from astrological things, internal and external environments. You could see outside of you and you could measure something, but then it got turned into tax collecting. That's what calends means. And so nothing that we see is anything other than some sort of, I mean, there is something besides business here, but well, why can't everybody just accept it, what it is? It's a ripe soul. Like, I'm not mad, I'm not frustrated, it's just completely ugh at this point, you know? Like this whole thing they're doing, like the Biden thing, then you get into the old the black magic of it, the Freemasonic parts of it, the Kabbalistic aspects, whatever you want. I mean, take it from any angle you want, but it's all some sort of funky thing. It's just weird. It's all just a weird thing, isn't it? I'm not saying magic is weird, because it's not. Magic is like using things that are you'd call outside of the spectrum of reality that you perceive and bring it into the real world. But it seems as though the people that are doing that are doing it for what anyone would that is just paying attention. They don't seem to be doing it for the benefit of everyone. They seem to be doing it for the benefit of a very small number of people. Where if they were using magic properly, why would they want to be so in that type of position of false faux authority, like FAUX, which is FAE or FOE, excuse me. You know, false, fake quasi authority. Like, why would anybody want that? Like, you'd still, like, if you really had power like that, like, people would respect you more. if you gave them enough, they wouldn't. But these people, they don't do that. What are they trying to do? They just try to reincarnate Osiris. Maybe they do. Maybe Osiris was a big shithead. You know, I don't know. Maybe he was, if he existed. Or was that just a story? Osiris, and then the penis, and then putting the body. You know, I mean, there's allegory to it, but it could have been a true story. Could have been a really true story. You don't know. I can't be sure. Yes, people say, oh, they had all these. What is it with everyone that has a past life regression thing, and then they always figure out that they were some king or queen or something? Like, no, not necessarily. You could have been just a lumberjack living in the fucking forest, some jackass. I guess if you know, but everybody's like, I was the king. I was the king of Spain, and you know, and then other people are like, I was related to everybody's got this wild story whenever they do past life regression. I'm like, yeah, I guess if all stories are everything, you just pick the one that you like best. Yes, and I'm fucking King Midas. How's that? I'm Midas. Everything I touch turns to gold. So that's more powerful than what anyone can do. I'm the fleet-footed Mercurian master of the arts that takes Mercury and turns all things into gold. The Quicksilver. I don't know. What is it? This wrong. It seems. Like whoever's in. I just don't understand. There's enough for everyone here, and yet they plunder everything for themselves and then leave shit for everyone else. Enslaving in debt. It makes no sense to do. This realm was already built. It's already here. Why wouldn't they just teach people how to build properly with their minds and with, you know, even if there was a type of monetary system? When they don't do that. You have to. There's like, what is it, like the invisible college? You know, that kind of thing. Is that just? Are there younger souls out here? The younger spirits that have to go through their teaching or whatever. Yeah, but the type of you know. The more that I hear people's stories and see what they've been through and know their life experiences and shit, it's just like there's way too much obscene amounts of trauma in people's lives, like serious amounts of trauma. You know, some people say the trauma opens up people to other pathways, but no, it's not. That is not the only way, nor is it the best. You could teach anything to do something through fear, but it doesn't give them as much. Gives them less control over anything. Gives them they can't control it. Their fear will. It's powerful, but it's not as you know, like love or fear. It's not love. Love is not the opposite of fear. Hate is not the opposite of fear. It's a different word altogether. It's not necessarily empathy or compassion either. It's something bigger than that, and love won't encompass that. It's such an overused word. But yeah, just trying to figure out where are we Does anybody know what time period we're in anymore? Do you really know where we live right now? Do you know what time it is? In the grand scheme of things, what year are we in? You know, you start looking at the whole. Oh, okay, we've got a 4-year cycle. Obviously, we've got a 4-year cycle in this country. We got 2-year cycles, presidents and all that. Am I on the Zoom? I could be. Should I be? I was gonna go over there because that way I could perhaps play some music and shit, but I could do that. I'll just have to switch it up in a second. Would you prefer that? We could do that, man. If you'd rather. How about this? It'd make it easier for me. Yeah, it'd make it easier for me. You can start up a room, right? Start up a room and then tell me, and then put the number in here, and then I'll come to your room, because if I don't, I have to jump off of here. I can't open up a sign, like I'm outside, obviously, and my phone doesn't let me split screens too easily. It'd be a whole dilemma for me to. I can do it. It would just take pushing the wrong button like 6 times and me getting frustrated. So just open up a Zoom room, and then make sure when you open up the Zoom room, if you probably know what you're doing, make sure you turn off the password. Click on the thing that the box should already be checked for password. Get rid of that, and then just leave it in so that there's just a room number. And then come in here, type that in there, and then we'll go from there. And we'll talk about perhaps Biden and his family history. We'll talk about Trump's family lineage. Maybe Judah, the Jews, the lions, why they're called lions, why they're called cheaters or cheetahs. We'll talk about snakes. We'll talk about allegories. I don't know. Whatever you want, man. Some things are going on in my mind. And obviously, I think everybody else here is welcome to come through. So I would suggest to do that. Come through. We're gonna over the Zoom chats. Zoom ID is. It's a very nice night out. It's actually warmer now than it was before it got dark. I'll just say it out loud again just to make sure you got the right thing in there. 832-1365-8573. So I will leave this running for a second, so anybody who wants to come on.
Everybody will want a dog.
Did you just kick your dog? How dare you?
We just met and he just kicked my dog.
Oh yeah, so there you go. There's the room number. I'll leave this on for a second, and I'll come to the room in a second. That way, anybody that gets into here, feel free. There's the room number 832-1365-8573. That gets the Zoom room. There should be no password. We'll find out in a second. Right, so worst case scenario, if I somehow screw this up getting into the room, or there is a password, or you screwed up somehow, I'll just start another video. So whoever just showed up here, we're gonna go to Zoom once again. 832-1365-8573. Yeah, okay, cool. Let me just take a screenshot so I can take this to my Zoom room. I don't know how to turn this into a small screen right now without shutting off the broadcast, so there we go. Yeah. Boom. All right, I'll see you there in a second. Everybody else, whoever just showed up, you got here a little late. We're going to the Zoom room, so I can't do it. I can't do a split screen on here, and I do not have another computer because I'm outside. Come over there. There it is. Last chance. And toodles.